The NLCS shifts to Los Angeles, where the Brewers will be going and playing some day baseball in LA. The Dodgers will be looking to keep the momentum going. How are they going to do that? News of the day, your voicemails, and more here on this edition of All Dodgers. Coming at you live from my home studio in beautiful La Puente, California. This is the All Dodgers podcast, part of the Bleav Network podcast presented by FanDuel. And out of all the openings and cold opens we've ever done on the show, this was absolutely one of them. My name is Clint. Find me as Real FRG in the social media machine. The guys you see on my screen right are Jeff Snyder, Kevin Skinner. You see their social handles on the screen as well. Give them a follow if you want. Jeff is in my time zone today. Welcome back to going back to Cali, as it were. Or what was your option for the cold open there again, Jeff?
California, here I come, right back where I started from. You know, a generational gap, a little bit. Yeah. Hey, Clint, I just got to compliment you. You are much better than me at staring into the camera while you push the button on your stream deck to start the intro. Even when I have my finger on it, I don't trust myself. I have to kind of glance at it as I push it. But you just gaze into my soul while you push it. I respect that, my friend.
I'm in here. This is professional. It's the only way I'm a professional. Also, Kevin's here. How you doing, Kevin?
I'm good.
Wait, I got a button for that. That was also a great intro right there. Guys, the Dodgers are back home. They played pretend baseball against each other today. The Brewers are in LA. The Dodgers are apparently now spend all of the money, even though the Brewers beat the Dodgers 6 times in 6 appearances this year, or 6 meetings this year. Bunch of random things to talk about here. But yeah, 2-0 advantage coming back home to Dodger Stadium. Jeff, I know you are a big fan of the concept of momentum, something as abstract as that. How do the Dodgers keep the momentum going against the Brew Crew?
I love the concept of momentum. I just don't think it exists, from one game to the next in baseball. And we may have seen that tonight if you happen to watch the ALCS game tonight. Mariners had a pretty good game 1 and 2, and then a less good game 3. And so, I don't think there's a way to keep the momentum going. What the Dodgers can keep going is the fact that they're playing good baseball. They have good baseball players. And, if anything, the Dodgers need to kind of change some of the momentum, because we still haven't seen contributions from a lot of the guys on offense who we'd like to, at least not to the extent that we would like to. And so the pitching, they're not pitching well because of momentum. They're pitching well because they're great pitchers, and that's what I expect to see from Tyler Glasnow. What I'm hoping to see from the offensive side is Shohei Ohtani take a step forward, Andy Pages take another step forward, Tommy Edman maybe take another step forward, guys who we've maybe seen some signs of, maybe he's coming to life. That's what I'd like to see, and whether you want to call it momentum or anything else, that's what I'm hoping to see, is the offense to join with the starting pitching in saying, Dave Roberts, don't worry about your bullpen. We got this.
Yeah, we'll dive into that a little bit more in just a second. We had a live and in the flesh Shohei Ohtani batting practice session on the field today, and everybody kind of lost their crap about that one. Kevin, it's a 3:08 local time. Is it 3:08 or 3:30? 3:08.
Oh my God, yeah.
Yeah, another one of those games where we're going to have to see all the morons on Twitter talk about, like, Dodger fans don't show up at 3 o'clock in Los Angeles traffic when everybody has jobs for the greater part.
And we're gonna
have hashtag shadows. It is the worst. It is honestly the worst. I hate Dodger Stadium specifically for its existence and its placement. Also, beautiful ballpark. I love everything about it. But I mean, this has just been the postseason of the haters. I guess you don't really care about what people on the social media say.
No, I think they should just paint the chairs blue at this point. The yellow's been nice, but let's just paint them blue so we don't have to worry about people saying, oh, look at all that yellow. I think, I get it. One team has to play the early slot. I think my biggest gripe right now is the Dodgers have the early slot in all of the games.
Yeah.
Even, so tomorrow they're going to have the early slot, and then now there will be a game 5 in Seattle. They're still the early slot. Why isn't that flipped? At least from what I remember, it's I believe that they should still have the early slot. I don't get that. I don't know why they're playing the early game. the whole time. Yeah, shadows, traffic. It's going to be annoying. The haters can go away. Their team's probably not playing in the postseason anyway. So their opinion matters.
Are you suggesting there might be specific fan bases who are delighting in the empty seats a little bit more than others?
Yeah, but guess what? If there's empty seats, they're just on the way to the stadium instead of sitting on the couch like their own team.
And it's warm in a lot of those seats. You notice when people show the empty seats, it's like, what do all those empty seats have in common? Oh, the sun is on them. Those people, it's not that they're not at the stadium yet.
Yeah.
It's that they're standing in the shade somewhere. They're at one of the bars. So yeah, people are going to get there late because it's at 3 p.m. on a work day. People have jobs, people have school, but also it's going to be mid 70s tomorrow and sunny. And that is warm when you're baking on the first base side of the field in those sunny seats. It's a warm place to watch a baseball game from.
Admittedly, I can confirm it was on the warmer side here today while I was taking care of some hashtag irrigation work in front of the house. Sun just beating down. Your boy was sweaty and beat down. And part of the reason I'm tired today is because I was doing that. So it is not fun sitting and baking in those very, very warm seats. Chances are people are hiding under the concourse, as Jeff is saying here, or going and hiding behind, in the new outfield, pavilion mezzanine area. I don't even know if it's new anymore. It's 5-6 seasons old, but don't worry. National media, they're going to take that and they're going to run with that. Dodgers fans, they don't even care about their team. Even though, another thing, before we shift out of this, chances are likely people purchase tickets for that game because you just get a chance early in the postseason and even before the postseason starts to buy home game one, not knowing when that game is going to happen.
You don't know if it's going to be NLCS Game 1 on Monday, NLCS Game 3 tomorrow. You don't know it's going to be 3:08 p.m., 6:08 p.m. You don't know anything. You just buy the tickets. And guess what? The Dodgers sold 4 million tickets this year, and they also won a crap load of games. And so far this postseason, they've won games better than any other team. And so, you know what? Give the fans a break.
I love this, by the way. Matty Man 5 Dodge saying, Jeff shifts to Los Angeles, and I appreciate that. I think that's worth a clap, by the way.
I'm just glad there's an F in that word.
Well, you'll probably be doing it without the F too. At least I hope so.
Well, yeah, I mean, he's going to go to bed soon. So.
Not to Los Angeles.
Why not?
Oh.
That's what you in your
Los
hand
Angeles.
and you go.
Yeah, let's get our prepositions right, fellas. Hashtag English, baby.
In, to, in. By the way, this is a voicemail show. If I didn't say that at the top of the show, we do have some voicemails locked in. If you have thoughts, well, I did say it at the top of the show, but if you have your thoughts and you want to get them in or have questions, thoughts about the series you want us to address, 562-373-4095, get them in now. Once I start playing voicemails, chances are I'm not going to be able to pull new ones in because that's a lot of buttons.
It's not Saturday, so no F-bombs in the voicemails.
And keep her clean, ladies and gentlemen. I got a couple super chats going on so far. $2 from our friend Seth Klein, who also called in to leave a voicemail. Thank you, Seth. Saying, what's a job? Hashtag what's a job? IB Stroking with $5 super chats. A shout out to all the new channel subscribers, the members here, and the Patreon members who have joined us on the Discord chat. We had a couple more join us last night. We appreciate you guys joining the conversation. And I will remind people, one of the things that the YouTube here, our broadcasting software doesn't do is tell me if people have joined as members during the show, so I will try to find a way to pay attention if anybody did that. But if you want to join us, check out our Patreon, patreon.com/realfrg. It's right there, covering my eye holes. If you want to go that route, or click the join button here on YouTube, it's $5 a month to support the show, support independent Dodgers coverage here on the YouTube machine. And with that, you get access to our Discord server where we're talking about the Dodgers all day long, all year long, all World Series long, all free agency long, so on and so forth. But enough about us. Let's talk about Shohei Ohtani, who took BP on the field today, gentlemen. News and notes of the day. This is big news when you're talking about Shohei Ohtani actually taking batting practice on the field. And at the stadium, they made a big deal out of it. They actually played his walk-up music. Dieter Rule, shout out to Dieter for making that happen if it was him. But he connected. He is hitting the bejesus out of the baseball, according to sources, which is the tweets. Freddie was giving him some crap, but anyways, him hitting some homer or hitting dingers at the stadium, seeing baseball go far. Clearly, he's trying to find a way to lock in. What do you make of this situation here, Jeff?
Whatever he thinks he needs to mix things up. He knows that he's been struggling, and he said he's just trying to get in a groove. Not in those exact words, but he's trying to switch something up. And Shohei Ohtani is a guy with so much potential that at any moment the switch can flip, which is a hard phrase for me to say. I always end up saying the flip can switch.
So did Dave.
Which is also true. Yeah. But some noun can do some verb, and Shohei Ohtani can go back to being the best or second best hitter in baseball at any moment. And if this is what he needs to flip that switch, then that's great. He hit one. Somebody on Twitter called it Schwarber territory. I'm still going to call it Willie Stargell territory. Either way, over the pavilion. I know we're going to see one of those in a real game at some point during his time with the Dodgers. I'm fine with it being tomorrow.
Yeah, it would be a good time against TBD, starting for the
Dodgers
Brewers
legend TBD.
Yeah, I didn't even know he got traded over there. Beverly was asking, just curious, why doesn't Ohtani normally take BP with the rest of the team on the field? Kevin, you want to handle that one a little bit? I think you're abreast of it enough, being an Ohtani supporter.
I actually don't know, if I'm being honest. My guess is he just doesn't like all the eyes on him, so he just takes BP in the cage.
Isn't it also like he gets to be a lot more fine-tuned and methodical in the batting cage? Plus, in the batting cages, they have, nowadays, they have all the bells and whistles and TrackMan, and he is very, very mechanically tuned to his swing more than feel, as we're, sometimes I think Freddie is a bit of a good mix of both. But
the bottom line is on-field batting practice can only do so much for you, because you got to go up there throwing 65 miles an hour from 50 feet away. It's not the same thing. He's throwing you strikes. He's not trying to strike you out. Live BP is one thing. If you actually have a good pitcher, living pitcher out there trying to get you out, that's one thing. But yeah, if your goal is to get better as a hitter, on-field batting practice is more about getting stretched out, getting your, okay, I'm ready for the game now. I took some hacks. But if you're actually trying to improve as a hitter, the time on the field taking batting practice is a very minor, inconsequential part of that process of getting better.
It feels to me like when Shohei does it, it's more of trying to change up either the momentum, the juju for himself, or probably more so, get a little bit of confidence. He can't be exceptionally confident in his postseason so far, hitting well under 200, even though, he's still making an impact on the game. It's just not in the way anybody that's a Dodger fan that wants this team to win. It's not the way that we would like him to be making an impact, which is with dingers. So, would like to see a nice game, maybe a multi-hit game, maybe a multi-dinger game again out of Shohei tomorrow. Kevin, I think it was you who were saying before the show, or maybe even just find some grass. Just find easy line drive swings. Stay within yourself. Try not to do too much. The old Dodger adage there. I think the important thing is some knocks on the board. Multi-hit game would help Shohei up here in the old noggin a whole lot, in my opinion. Any thoughts on that?
I think a lot of things could help him, because he's been striking out a lot. Yeah, bat quality. I know Dave says he likes it. I can't imagine he does, because it hasn't been phenomenal. He did get the RBI, but besides that, it's been a lot of strikeouts, been a lot of pop-ups. Just hit the ball hard, even if it's right at somebody, would be good. If you have an opportunity with guys on base, let's get a sac fly. Those are small things.
Yep.
When Mookie was really struggling, that's the stuff I was looking for. And even when he wasn't producing, actual hits, he was still getting sac flies and putting together really good at bat quality. So that's the stuff that I would want to see even before we get to, dinger territory. Although, because he's Shohei Ohtani, he could absolutely hop, skip, jump, Superman leap right back into dinger territory immediately. And obviously that's better.
I'll note that the names are still messed up here on YouTube. Admittedly, I didn't do anything to look into it. I will at some point in my life, but whoever,
I've been looking on the settings. I can't figure it out.
yeah, there was either a change on the YouTube side or a change on the broadcast software that we use. So sorry, everybody has to look at their weird handles on here. Jeff has to look at his weird handles every time he's naked. I'm sorry, I could not leave it. I could not leave
Go
it.
to you.
I know, but.
Can you explain your joke, please? I don't get it.
I love you. And Snafu says multi-hit game is what we want for Shohei. Even Vladdy went 4-4 today. I demand the same from Shohei. Guys, hit that like button if you want Shohei Ohtani to have a 4-hit game tomorrow. Hit that subscribe button, and I guarantee you that he maybe might try to have 4 hits tomorrow against
He'll definitely try.
Insert Brewers pitcher's name here, which, by the way, the next thing we're talking about, still no official pitcher for the Brewers tomorrow, which is a little odd, little funky. We talked a little bit yesterday about it. I mentioned I assume it's going to be Jose Quintana, but I think Kevin is the one who mentioned Jacob Misiorowski still available, still around. Maybe they do an opener and go to the bulk role for the Miz. But it's a bit odd to be. I don't know. It's almost 9. It's 8:45 right now, and we not have a starting pitcher for a 3:00 game. Jeff, any thoughts on this?
I think Pat Murphy. One thing we've learned about him is that he's definitely into the gamesmanship. Whether he's whining about how much money his owner doesn't spend in not so many words or anything else. I think he and Dave Roberts have a healthy amount of respect, so I don't expect him to hide it from Dave Roberts forever. But Pat Murphy definitely strikes me as the kind of guy who would wait until the last possible moment to announce something when he knows that their backs are up against the wall, that, whoever pitches. Mm-hmm. I mean, it's going to be either Quintana or Misiorowski taking bulk innings tomorrow, possibly both, depending on how they feel about, game 4, if they use both of those guys. But one way or the other, they're going to have to use somebody, and the less time you give the Dodgers to prepare for that person, the better. So he's going to take his time.
It feels to me, Kevin, like probably the smarter play is to go with an opener and see what you have out of the Miz for maybe 3, 4, 5 innings at most. And if it fails, you pull the Jose Quintana lever and then you figure out game 4 from there. But then again, you do have probably a more traditional starter available in Quintana, but they go down 0-3 in the series. That's a tough mountain to overtake or climb back up. What are your thoughts on which way you would go if you're trying to help the Brewers win a game here?
I would go probably Quintana. He's got pretty decent numbers.
You're wrong.
Before the game.
Yeah.
Against the Dodgers, and nobody hits him particularly well. Andy Pages is like 4 for 9. I think Conforto, who's not even on the rosters, hit him pretty well. Shohei's like 1 for 8 with a homer. So there's not like a lot of guys that jump off the page. So I'd probably go Quintana. This feels very. What was that? Was it 2018 when they played and then they did the opener for one batter and then they just pulled the one batter and then went to I forget who it was.
I think it was Woodruff.
Like that. Yeah,
Woodruff
this feels very like that. And because of the way Pat Murphy has played these, pressers, my guess is he's going to announce his opener and then probably not say who's coming in for bulk afterwards. It's going to be up to Dave to guess. And I don't think Dave is in a guessing mood. I guess he'll just put out the 9 best guys and just like alternate handedness and just say, okay, like we still like our odds.
It seems like Dave hasn't really been, changing the game plan when it comes to the lineup and who necessarily
really
is the opener.
Teo and Freddie, or it's just putting a guy that's like it. Yeah. But Dave is like, if they do pitch Quintana in bulk, Freddie's got good numbers against Quintana for what it's worth. He actually hits him like fairly well. Dave has no problem with Freddie batting third against a lefty. He just plays like the tiniest of margins by batting a righty up there. So
for what it's worth, the Dodgers last year beat up on Quintana 3 1/3, 5 runs in that NLCS when he was a Met. So give me any of them. Misiorowski, he's still a rookie. I can't remember quite what he did in that big, oh my God, this is the end of the world start between him and Kershaw. You guys know how old Clayton Kershaw is and how young this young supple boy is and whatever. I don't remember how he pitched there. But you got to figure at this point, he has never thrown this much in his life. He's going to be a good amount gassed. I like the Dodgers odds either way.
The interesting part of that quote is with the day off, all our bullpen should be good. Is he sure about that? They've pitched a lot of innings in a very short period of time. Some guys are 4 or 5 games in 7 days. Because they used up a lot of pitchers in that last game against the Cubs as well. So I don't know if their bullpen is all that in a bag of chips right now. Or they've got to be feeling it at this point. And if they really because if they go bullpen tomorrow, they're gonna have to go bullpen game 4 because they don't have a starter.
Backs are a little against the wall, man. Jeff, what are your thoughts on all of this conversation?
Can I just point out that while I did do California here, I come right back where I started from. Kevin just said all that in a bag of chips.
Yes.
Which that felt old even to me.
Guys, which
Kevin was not alive yet the last time anybody unironically said all that in a bag of chips.
So what you're saying that Kevin's statement was not the greatest thing since sliced bread?
Yes, correct.
Yeah.
You fell off your dinosaur the last time.
It was anachronistic at best. Honestly, I got distracted by all that mega chips. I don't remember what we were talking about, so
all good.
I don't know what my thoughts are.
Well, we appreciate that. Francisco Diaz had some couple of thoughts in the form of super chats. We appreciate Francisco. I didn't mean to push that button, but I was using a different finger.
Hey, he hates you.
That's what she said. Quintana could be a solution as well. Ohtani did have a leadoff bomb against them last year in Game 4 of that NLCS. Thank you for being more good at remembering things, Francisco. He also has another way to help Ohtani get off the schneid with another $4.99 super chat. Thank you very much, sir. Saying here's food for thought. Why not just fly Brent Honeywell in and his turtleneck to Dodger Stadium, let him throw live BP to Ohtani? It worked for Mookie in 2024. I think I don't know. I think the live BP. I think coming back home, a day game. If it's not a lefty. I mean, Sho's been struggling against the lefties. So if it's not Quintana, it's going to be Quintana tomorrow. I don't know. I think Shohei's due. That's all I got.
The reason Honeywell was able to help Mookie was because Mookie's issue was he was getting pitches right down the middle and he just wasn't driving them.
Yeah.
And so they needed somebody to throw him fastballs right down the middle.
Shohei needs a lefty that throws sinkers at him.
Brett Honeywell doesn't have anything that can help Shohei get better because Shohei already knows he can hit guys who pitch as well as Brett Honeywell. What he needs is to hit guys. And it's about the pitch selection, So honestly, I really do believe that Game 1 was a step forward for Ohtani, and Game 2 was a different kind of step forward. It was a step forward, a step back in a way because he did strike out 3 times, but he also did get a big hit with runners in scoring position when they needed him to. And so I believe he's taken 2 different steps forward this week. And so I expect tomorrow to be another step forward. I don't think the Ohtani we've seen so far in the NLCS is the same helpless guy we saw in the NLDS.
So we've seen 2 steps forward, and now we need to see 1 hop this time.
2 hops.
Hey, Kevin just quoted something from this century. Good job, K-Pop.
Is that from this century?
Hey, by the way, Kevin, have you been listening to the latest from Ronnie James Dio?
Yeah, absolutely. Is he still alive?
No, he's very dead. Very dead. If you guys know, you know. If not, look up. It's episode where Kevin called him Dio. Tyler Glasnow, as we said yesterday, he gets the baseball for the Dodgers tomorrow. How do you, Jeff? Listen, you've never been an all-world athlete. You've never even been probably an exceptionally gifted athlete. You have seen sports, so you know a little bit about him. How do you think this man handles? I don't know why I just felt like attacking you there a little bit.
What did Jeff do to you?
I was literally athlete of the year at my high school, my senior year in high school. I was all league in 3 sports, bro.
But
yeah.
he peaked. Was it a good high school? He peaked.
I agree with
He
your
threw
first
4
statement.
touchdowns in a single game.
I've never been. Yeah, I was definitely a quarterback, built like me. I've never been a professional athlete, but anyway, what was the rest of your question?
The rest of the
I was
question
just
is
busy being offended.
okay. I appreciate that. How do you handle the pressure? How do you handle following up as the third starter in that rotation, following up what you saw in the first 2 games? Snell, Yamamoto going to combined very good and very good against the Brewers.
I think that sort of thing is the kind of thing you joke about in a press conference, but when Tyler Glasnow steps on the field, he's not thinking at all about what Snell and Yamamoto did. He's thinking about, okay, my job today is to go out there and give the Dodgers 7 good innings. And that's his goal. And if it's 6 hits and 1 run, he will be perfectly happy with that, even though it will ruin the streak of otherworldly starts. Tyler Glasnow is only thinking about doing his job to help the team. He's not thinking at all about what the guys did before him or what Ohtani's going to do the day after him.
Thoughts on that, Kevin?
No, I agree with Jeff 100%. He can't be thinking about that. And he doesn't seem like the kind of guy that does anyway. I think he might make, like, if he's put in a really advantageous spot where they're up 5-0 and it's the 7th inning, maybe the thought creeps into his mind, how can I push this to the 8th? Up until that point, if he gets to that point, I don't think the thought even enters his mind. He needs to get outs. The Brewers, he's had success against them in the past, which is surprising to me because I think this is kind of a nightmare matchup for him in terms of the type of team they are. They put bat to ball. They don't chase a ton. They take their walks. They don't strike out a lot. Like, he's a strikeout pitcher. He's going to need to be efficient. He's going to need to induce ground balls. So he's going to have like his curve working tomorrow. He's going to need his off-speed stuff working because they will time up and destroy his fastball.
Yeah, that's encouraging. It's real encouraging.
Well, that's what he has to be thinking about. And that's what he has to think about. As opposed to, oh, man, what did Yamamoto's splitter look like yesterday?
I mean, the good thing he does have, a little bit different stuff than what Yamamoto throws out there, so that does help out a little bit, a different look. But also, I'm really hoping that he's been a part of some solid rotations in the past. He's been a teammate of Blake Snell in the past, so he's probably used to some dudes pitching well in front of him. And of course, we know that whole idea that the competition within the starting rotation. I'm imagining he's going to want to try to find some way to go out there and throw a complete game shutout, and hopefully he does have his best stuff. And hopefully the mound is perfect for him. Hopefully he drinks his water and eats his nanners so he doesn't get any cramps. Pickle juice. For what it's worth, the bullpen is in a pretty good spot for the Dodgers. Everybody's going to love the names here. Dave talking about feeling really good with some combination of Vesia, Blake Trine, and Roki Sasaki to finish a baseball game. And if we're talking about finishing a baseball game with the Dodgers winning, the latest odds over with our friends at FanDuel, you'll be shocked. They still like the Dodgers to win tomorrow. On the money line, minus 196 with Tyler Glasnow on the bump versus the plus 164 for the Brew Crew and TBD.
Actually, it's the NLCS, and you have a minus 196 favorite. That's just absurd.
Let's see the latest two. Let me look at the latest. Neither team is like destroyed by injuries. They're not decimated by injuries. These are like healthy teams, all things considered, and they're just like, yeah, we'll give you, 2-1 on your money if the Brewers win. By the way,
2-1 odds if the Brewers win.
Dodgers still very much the favorites there. Minus 165 to win the World Series. Which, hey, we're getting ahead of ourselves. We got ahead of ourselves a little bit last night. If I remember correctly, I don't know. Last night was a long time ago, but people probably don't want to hear us say that the Dodgers are going to sweep, even though cough cough they're going to sweep. Mr. John Rod has a $4.99 super chat in that same spirit. Keep it locked in. Dodgers need to stay locked in. One blowout line tonight's. What? I don't know what he's saying there. Anyways, one blowout game, and the momentum, all that can shift very quickly. I agree with most of that. I don't know if the words all worked out, but I appreciate Mr. John Rod for supporting the show. Seth Klein defending our hero, Kevin. So stop picking on the man in the kitchen. Have we been picking on him?
I don't think so.
No.
I will say to the other super chat, even if the Brewers win tomorrow, I don't think momentum shifts in their favor or they get any momentum whatsoever. Like I said, they still got to pitch game 4 with whatever else is left, and only then do they get their starter back in Game 5. So I
gentleman's sweep is what it would be.
It's a tall order, and I'm not usually the one to say this or feel this confident about the Dodgers at any point in the playoffs. But like, I just looking at who they've got going.
Yeah, I mean, heading into this postseason, we were worried about the bullpen. It's kind of righted itself a little bit, but we knew the starting pitching would be very strong against just about every team, maybe outside of the Phillies, where we saw some struggles in that Philly series, but they still had more starting pitching than the Phillies did. Honestly, I wouldn't be shocked. I wouldn't be shocked if the Brewers won a game, but I'd be somewhat surprised at this point, just with looking at the state of their pitching staff. It goes back to what Jeff has said, a number of times. Like, if the Dodgers beat themselves, they will lose a game in this series. So keep it clean tomorrow, boys. Mikey, if you're nasty, Mickey, you're so fine. What gave us $1.99 guaranteed lefty opener tomorrow. Not the opener at the it's gonna be a lefty. Dodgers have struggled a little bit more against the lefties. How about I do this, folks, before we shift into more of the chat and of our voicemails? Why don't I tell y'all about our friends at Delete Me? If you guys know anything about that, Delete Me makes it easy, quick, and safe to remove your personal data online at a time when surveillance and data breaches are common enough to make everyone vulnerable. Data brokers make a profit off of you and your data. Your data is a commodity. Anybody on the web can buy your information, your private details. That can lead to identity theft, phishing attempts, harassment, so on and so forth. But now you can protect your privacy with Delete Me. If you've known anybody that has been the victim of identity theft, it sucks. It really does suck. We've talked about this thanks to Delete Me. Getting your life back is a struggle. It is an uphill battle. People don't really want to help you because it doesn't involve them. Delete Me helps keep your information as best they can. They remove your information from the internet so people can't buy it from these ne'er-do-well data brokers. Anyways, take control of your data. Keep your private life private by signing up for Delete Me now at a special discount for our listeners. And look at that, I pointed the right way. I'm on the wrong side of the screen. Take control again. Get that 20% off your Delete Me plan when you go to joindeleteme.com/hit. That is HIT. Use that promo code HIT at checkout and you save 20%. That is the only way you save 20% is you go to joindeleteme.com/hit and you tell them we sent you by using that promo code HIT at checkout. Thank you, Delete Me, for bringing us this part of the show. All right, guys, let's move on. Let's talk about whatever people want to talk about.
Can I talk about something real quick? This is more housekeeping. Speaking of identity theft, instead of listening to you, I was Googling, and this issue with the usernames is a YouTube change that they are gradually rolling out to all channels. Our channel has gotten the rollout, and there's nothing that we can do about it. The reasoning is apparently because usernames that show here have to be unique, and so theoretically this prevents identity theft, prevents people from pretending to be, because anybody could change their display name to BC and come in and say, start saying things that we would think that it was our friend BC who's always in our chat. So anyway, that's why the chats are showing up with your actual usernames, because they're unique and there's nothing we can do about it, unfortunately.
So we didn't do it. This could be pure coincidence. I haven't seen our good friend Bob Nightingale in the chat.
Well, Bob Nightingale has a username that is not Bob Nightingale. So
what? Are you telling me that's not been the real Bob Nightingale this whole time?
Shockingly.
But also, Bob Nightingale he's a busy mofo. I catch up with him whenever I can, mostly on the Discord or through the Instagram or whatever. He is but a busy boy. But Bob, we miss you. Can't wait for you to break some big news over the off season and all that kind of stuff. A lot of friends still in the chat with us already. Diane in the chat, Jenny Vega in the chat, J-Way Kim in the chat, our buddy Maddie Man 5 Dodge in the chat, Ivy Stroke and Roy Estrada. Appreciate you guys hanging out with us.
Hey, he's today. Maddie Man 5 Dodge 101 now.
So many numbers.
Dang, there's 100 other ones of him at least.
Apparently.
Guys, I mean, you could also go to your own YouTube channels and fix them. I mean, we also know some people have fixed their, like, it is displaying their names the correct way. I don't know. It's a little bit weird. Anyways, guys, again, we got some voicemails, and I think I have the screen set up correctly. Oh, look at that, I do. But for some reason, it shifted. There is a power shift here. All of a sudden, take that, Jeff.
Because they knew I want to be by my friends in the chat here.
Oh, there it is. Just be like this the whole time.
These guys right here.
Anyways, we got some voicemails, guys.
I'm in a beard sandwich.
Oh, Michael thought we're signing off. We're not signing off yet. We still got more show. We're getting into the voicemails. I'm going to push this one first. I don't know. I didn't name any of them. I don't know what order. I haven't listened to them, so they better be clean, or else Jeff's gonna be mad and yell at me.
Yeah.
Hey, Dodger fam. Long-time caller, first-time listener, Seth Klein here. It's been a crazy NLCS so far. I'm so proud of our pitchers. My question is, are we okay with ruining baseball? I know that for those of us who had to live through the previous regime, run by he who shall not be named, love the fact that we are now witnessing the golden era of Dodger baseball. Are we worried about any consequences? I'm not. 6 more to go. Let's do it for 22, and I'll take my answer off the air. Thank you. Bye.
Yeah, I love Seth.
Can
I address that?
Absolutely.
I am open to the idea of changes to the structural structure of baseball, the financial doings, shenanigans, whatever you want to call it.
Chicanery.
Sure, we'll call it all those things.
And more.
I don't think it will help a lot of these teams. You know, the team that's currently whining about it, the Brewers, their ownership spends 40% of their revenue on payroll. The Dodgers ownership spends 73% or something like that. And that's based on the numbers that's the best guesses. We don't know how much the teams are actually pulling in. What we know is that there are a lot of teams that it could afford to be spending more. Now, and people will always come back with, well, no matter how much they spend, they'll never be able to afford Shohei and Freddie and Mookie and Glasnow and Snell. Yes, the Dodgers are always going to have an advantage. But unless they actually go to a system where every team is required to spend the same exact amount, that will always be the case. Because guess what? Nobody's going to choose to go play in Milwaukee. That's the bottom line. Like these small markets, it's not just because they don't have the money. It's because they play in places that people don't want to live. And, you know, no offense to any of those places. I know they're great places. But Shohei Ohtani would have signed with the Dodgers even if deferrals were illegal. His contract would look different, but he still would have chosen the Dodgers because he chose the Dodgers because he wanted to come win. And the Dodgers have proven that they can put together a winning team. And the Dodgers have proven that in ways outside of payroll, like clubhouse amenities, like family situations, all the different ways that you can take care of players, the Dodgers do it. And so, yes, they absolutely have a financial advantage. And if Major League Baseball wants to do things to decrease that financial advantage, that's fine. But the Dodgers are winning because they are the cream of the crop when it comes to baseball organizations. And they are good at building a team in every possible way that you can build a team, which includes spending a lot of money. It also includes player development and drafting well. The team has not had a pick in the top half of the first round since they drafted Clayton Kershaw, and they have the top farm system in baseball. Like this team, the Dodgers know how to do it. And yes, the money helps, but you will find something else to whine about if they change the financial structure, because the Dodgers will still be a better organization than yours, even if they can't spend as much money.
And they don't even do it all through the draft or international signings, of course. They pay scouts to be really good at their job, to go identify good players, living players, and other organizations that maybe they haven't identified all of the, found the best way to milk the most out of them, which the Dodgers do love milking players for the most you can get. But I think of, what was it, Ross Stripling for River Ryan? Is that what the trade was? Not Ross Stripling. Matt Beatty for River Ryan?
Yeah.
That's just a ridiculous acquisition.
Dylan Floro for Alex Vesey and Cal Hurt.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, and I mean, Dylan
Michael
Forrell
Busch,
even was
Michael
a trade.
Busch, who they didn't need for two of their top prospects now. Like, yeah, they're really good at this stuff.
Yeah.
It's definitely the revenue. The revenue share is the big point for me. The Dodgers are second in baseball with the percentage they put back into their team. You know, I think I don't remember what the Brewers are, but the teams that love to complain about this, they're at like the bottom. So yeah, it's more those teams should spend more money.
Well, the thing
if
is,
you don't
is it even
want
the
Dodgers
teams? It feels like it's more the team, the fan bases. The teams are like the owners are like we're
yeah,
good.
the teams are fine. Yeah, the fan bases that want to complain about it are because it's the bottom or they're at the bottom of the list. But if you don't want teams or the Dodgers to have all these players, you know, if other teams spent more money, guess what? Players like this aren't necessarily always available either. Freddie fell into their lap because the Braves do business a certain way, and it just happened to be so late. It's not like the Dodgers went out and poached Freddie Freeman. The Braves just don't like paying players of a certain age a certain amount of money, and that was it. But it's just money to the Braves, so they should have played the guy that probably should have a statue outside of their stadium, but they didn't. So it's a ridiculous argument. They just want to complain. And you look at the NFL, who has like the same top 4 teams in the AFC Championship game, the NFC Championship game, and guess what? They're a capped league too. And the Saints are one of the worst teams in the league, and they are in cap hell.
And the guy who the Dodgers picked up off the DFA scrap heap just set their record for most postseason homers in a career. And he passed another guy they picked up off the DFA scrap heap and a guy they drafted late in the first round who turned into one of the best players in baseball.
Yeah.
Gold Glove nominee, Corey Seager, by the way. That's so cool and very surprising.
Well, you know, as long as you hit homers, you might win a Gold Glove. Seth Klein also had another $2 super chat. It says hashtag open the books. Let us see what they are paying. Oh, sure. Owners don't want that. Dodgers,
that's
I think.
Why, that's why there will never be a salary cap, because that would require the owners admitting how much money they make, how much money they're raking in hand over fist. And the way you know is because every time a team goes up for sale, it sells for record amounts. Oh, poor unprofitable baseball. Let me give you $4 billion for this crappy team.
Raul Robles with the super chat, and a really good point too. Very smart with spending their money, i.e. Machado. Yeah. That's another good point. They've had also plenty of opportunities to sign great players and just passed on them.
They also tried their best to, let's say, 98 times out of 100, find the best player that will fit the mold in that clubhouse, and with the rest of the team, they've done well. By the way, I will flip you the bird. It says promote Skinner. Dude is all time. We found Kevin's burner, but Kevin, you are now. Yep. I'm giving you a promotion. You are now assistant to the regional manager of all Dodgers.
Yes.
So
I need to get better glasses and a tie and a suit and tie
and grow some facial hair.
Yeah.
Hey!
Mike doesn't have facial hair.
Stop pooping.
No, I was just saying, in order for you to fit in here.
Oh yeah. We'll have a talk after the show about that.
Dress code, yeah.
Dress code. Oh God, listen. If you want to, never mind. I'm gonna walk away from that one. All right, we got another voicemail. I don't know who it's from. Let's find out together.
Here, Alexander Rose here. If you
Alexander
didn't
Rose.
know, well now you know. All right. Let's talk business. All right. Business is the word of the day, and Dodgers handled business in Milwaukee. What is it? Milwaukee is what they call it.
Do they?
The land of cheese or something. I don't know what it is that they got going on over there. Anyways, we're going into Game 3 and Game 4 at home, up 2-0. I think everybody is loving our chances right now and how they're kind of playing, at least our starters. Snell and Yamamoto shoved. And I'm glad that we have a game tomorrow. What I'm not glad is that the game is at 3 o'clock, but I know they got to get it in for like people like Jeff that need to go to bed at like 8 o'clock, even though it's 8 o'clock like right now. We know he's a little bit sleepy, but shout out to Jeff, shout out to Kevin, and shout out to Clint, the whole All Dodgers podcast. Make sure you guys like, subscribe, and as always, Bye.
As long as he didn't drop a F all of the things, we would not have
I am going to
appreciated
bed as soon as we're done here, but
Yeah.
that's because I drove all day today so I could be at Dodger Stadium tomorrow.
We got a $2 super chat from Cole. It says Cole. I didn't know it was Cole Boy Cole, but anyways, saying Yamamoto not being a Gold Glove snub. That is unfortunate. That is terrible. It is worth noting. We'll talk more about this at some other point where they're actually gonna give the awards away. But Mookie Betts nominated at shortstop, like we all planned, like we all expected when Kevin anointed him the starting shortstop last November here on the All Dodgers YouTube channel. Another one. How about Miguel Rojas for the utility Gold Glove, being a utility Gold Glove finals? That's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. In his second to final year, allegedly. That's it.
This is awesome. Never thought. I expected Mookie to be a good shortstop. Getting a Gold Glove nomination is huge. I would guess Mookie would love to win this because I think he'd be the second player ever to win it at both the outfield and infield. I think David Eckstein's the only other guy that's done that.
Not David Eckstein. Darren Erstad, maybe?
Darren Erstad, thank you. Yeah, the other D. Yeah, and he did it at right field and first base. Not
center field and first, but
center field. He wanted it at three positions, but
I love Darren Erstad. That's one of my all-time favorites.
But I hate to rain on the parade. I don't think Mookie's gonna win it. But
wait, who's the other guy? Mason Wynn and
Mason Wynn grades out a lot better.
Depends on which stat you look at. And it's going to be interesting because it depends on what the voters look at. And how they weigh different things. Because Mookie Betts had the most defensive runs saved of any shortstop in baseball, and there will be some people who look at that. And then there's other stats where he's more middle of the pack. The only way to argue that he's anything other than an above average shortstop is if you decided that before you saw him play and you're not good at changing your opinions, which there's plenty of those people. But we'll see. Nick Allen didn't hit well enough to win it, and unfortunately that is something that factors in. It shouldn't. But I mean, how do you think Derek Jeter won 5 Gold Glove awards? By being a good hitter who played shortstop.
Was giving people baskets, right?
Those people don't vote. No.
Yeah, the thing. The reason I think Mookie can win it, and we don't need to make a whole to deal out of this. The reason I think he can win it is one, the numbers. Some of the numbers look good. The ones they like to, show on social media graphics usually look pretty good. But these guys voting usually are writers, and writers love a good story. And writing a story about Mookie Betts being this dude to move from right field to shortstop and win it in his first year is just a more fun story to write than two dudes who didn't make the postseason being good defenders.
I would just look at, of the three of them, he's the lowest in outs above average.
He's the goodest.
He has the most errors, the most throwing errors as well, and in more innings, and not So there's that.
But also that
lower
curve,
fielding percentage.
That curve, that was so much of that was the first 2 months. Really?
No, absolutely, it absolutely was. I think he definitely 100% improved as the year went on. I don't know if the narrative will be enough. I just think it's absolutely incredible that he was even nominated because people wanted to send him. And I wouldn't say into the sun, just back into right field.
And so, like I said, I was driving all day, so I didn't look a lot at Twitter. Was that all the tweets, or did I miss the one where Teoscar and Conforto were nominated?
What's the opposite of the Gold Glove? What do you get for being what's the Razzies of Gold
I saw
Glove
somebody
winners?
in the chat who was upset that Freddie Freeman wasn't a finalist.
He's good at picking the ball.
It's worth noting. Freddie Freeman is very good at picking the ball. He has some of the worst range of among first basemen in baseball.
And his ankle injury didn't help that.
Yeah, absolutely. And I don't mean that as a knock on him. I mean, his current physical state between his age and his injuries, he was not a good defensive first baseman this year, except when it comes to picking the ball, which is very important.
And
but
he's really good at that.
He's really, really good at that for sure. But I think when you factor everything in, I don't consider that a snub that he's not a finalist.
Yeah, no, he's
anybody else
he's got a Gold
did
Glove.
get snubbed? Anybody not get nominated that you thought would get nominated?
I've only seen 2 nominations, and that's National League shortstop and National League utility player because Clint just put them up on the screen. So
Those are the only two Dodgers that got nominated.
Freddie, go glove, go glove. All right, hey, we got more voicemails, and then it's bedtime for Jeff. Let's hear. This is either Noah or Richie.
Well, hey, Clint.
I think it's Richie.
Happy Wednesday to you. Well, the Brewers are down 2 games to none. The chances of them advancing are 2, slim and none. But I digress. That's where I'd be stroking, by the way. Well, maybe Jeff's got a point. Maybe this whole regular season, it just doesn't mean that much to the Dodgers. They know exactly how much that they need to win to get into the postseason. So maybe this is all coming to think about it for a minute. The Dodgers babied all of their pitchers this year that were injured. They slow walked them. They put them on training wheels. And even though that frustrated us to no end, but look at the results now. Our starting pitching's on fire. They're mowing through hitters faster than Jock Peterson eating tacos on Taco Tuesday. But I digress once again.
Yeah, you do.
Then there's our friends down south. Little brother, who's now looking for their, 10th manager in the last 11 years. Hey, Manny, all that trash talking, all of that posturing, all of that fist pumping, and all those bat flips, what did that get you? I quote Dean Warmer from Animal House, fat, drunk, and stupid is no way to go through life, son. And finally, I say this, throw strikes, play catch, put the ball in play, run the bases intelligently. Let's slam the door. Let's get this done. Let's get the much-needed rest that we need in between series. Let's don't screw around. Hammer, just go ahead and drop the hammer this week, and let's call it a day. See ya.
Appreciate Richie calling in. Yeah, as my co-host on Dodgers Territory, Lana Rizzo, might say, if you stomp them out, just don't let them come back up for air. Not that they would win the series if they even won a game, but there's no reason to let them come back into the series. Any thoughts off of Richie's voicemail before we play our last voicemail of the day? Some.
No. He only said hi to you, so I think you're the only one who's authorized to have thoughts on it.
I at some point in time, I would like to talk about the whole Padres situation. Right now, I don't care even slightly. Could not care less right now.
Yeah,
exactly. Now is not the time, but there will be conversation probably to be had during the off season, during the slow months.
The only thing that's worth saying is that Pat Murphy and Dave Roberts were both interim managers for the Padres on the same team, and now they're currently managing the NLCS while the Padres are at home, which I find very entertaining.
All right, our final voicemail. Oh, you had something? I heard noises. Okay.
I was just going to say 60% of the NL West doesn't currently have a manager.
Oh, that's embarrassing.
Torey Lovullo and Dave Roberts are the only managers in the NL West right now.
Thoughts and prayers to the National League West. Hey, by process of elimination, this is Noah.
Well, what up, guys? It's Noah, as you know.
Nailed it.
And I got to say, guys,
Math.
Remember when Clint, Jeff, Kevin, and I all told you that not to worry, they're going to turn it up a notch in the playoffs? Well, sure enough, they did. It's been a great postseason with a lot of great moments, such as Ohtani's leadoff homer versus the Reds, Teo's 3-run homer in Game 1, Rocky's 3 perfect innings versus the Phillies, the wheel play for Game 2, and sure enough, the pitching outings by Snell and Yama. It's been a heck of a great postseason. And in all honesty, guys, it's crazy how far we have gone. From Lance Lynn, Bobby Miller, Kershaw, to, well, I can't name all of them from the top of my head. We are stacked. It's crazy, guys. And as I'm watching all these postseason games, it's pretty amazing how literally all of them could use a Honeywell. And it's amazing how Dave Roberts in the front office were able to get us a win and win the World Series with just a bullpen. Literally, Dave Roberts doesn't get enough credit for that. But anyways, guys, that's all I got to say. I think we'll take the series in 5. The reason I say 5 is because you never know when a pitcher's going to have a bad outing. Such as Yamamoto. He had a bad outing versus the Reds, but sure enough, he rebounded by going a complete game. So it's baseball. That's my thought prediction, guys, and have a good night.
Appreciate Noah calling in, sharing his thoughts. Yeah, there was a version of the show where I wanted to talk about the how far this rotation has come, and just mentioning like, your Lance Lynn's, and I don't know, just random awful names. But then I didn't want to do the homework of going back and looking at some of those awful names, so I abandoned the project. But
Good job.
Yeah, there's a lot of good pitchers, living pitchers.
It's funny when you see teams that come out with like super bullpens, or they rely heavily on their bullpens, and they don't seem to be constructed as such. Whereas the Dodgers, they don't really ever have like super bullpens, but what they have are a bunch of really good players, really good arms, and then also a couple long arms, which other like quality long relievers that they can just eat innings, which I feel like some of these other bullpens have lacked. Cough, the Brewers and the Padres, most notably. Like when the Padres had their super bullpen, I looked at them like losing Jason Adam was huge, obviously, but they don't have like a really good long guy. It's Wandy Peralta, and that's pretty much it. Where I feel like the Dodgers have always had at least a good guy that, like, if you need to eat 3 innings and try and, maintain a 2-run lead or not let it get more than a 2-run deficit, they've always had somebody that can do that.
Dodgers are stacked with those guys this postseason.
Literally.
With Sheehan, Wroblewski. Hey, we could even throw in old friend Clayton Kershaw, who's kind of along for the ride this year.
Various, if they really wanted to.
Jeff, any final thoughts before we do all the sign-off words and you can go to bed?
No, I am very, very excited to be in Dodger Stadium tomorrow afternoon. I don't even mind the day game since I had to travel here anyway. It's not like I had to get off work early to get to the game tomorrow. In fact, it'll make it easier for us to podcast tomorrow evening. So I like the day game tomorrow for the game I'm going to, and my seat is in the shade. So, nice. I got no complaints. I'm looking forward to seeing Tyler Glasnow shove tomorrow, and with Clint in the stadium, kind of looking up at the auxiliary press box every time he strikes a dude out, and just we'll know what he's thinking, Clint.
Exactly. Hey, I need to see something out of Tyler Glasnow. Don't think you got off the hook with one good start, Mister.
Wait, which one of the 26 are you talking about?
Yeah, he was good this year.
Yeah, it's part of the thing. Go wink. Anyways, guys, thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. If you are listening on the podcast side, if you could find a moment to I was trying to say yesterday before my internet just straight up yeeted itself, to leave us a rating and a review on the podcast front. That really does help out us, helps out the network, and helping us secure better deals to keep the show going. And then we maybe beg people less for money. Speaking of begging, check it out, patreon.com/realfrg, or click the join button here on YouTube. Our most popular tier is $5 a month, which is cheaper than a Dodger dog. And with that, you are supporting Dodgers coverage here on the internet. And you get access to our Discord server, where we are all a nice growing community talking about the Dodgers and living community, or whatever the other thing. I can't think of it right now because I'm trying to sign off. But yes, do that thing. Shout out to the mods for doing a great job in keeping things in check in the chat. I don't know what else I'm supposed to say. All Dodgers is presented by FanDuel, part of the Bleav Network. We appreciate you guys hanging out with us here on this Wednesday. Dodgers in 4. Bye.
Bye.